Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Orman, the Master of Self-Leadership. Welcome to Leadership U. Today I'll be showing a presentation that I gave yesterday about some of the leadership skills that we all need to develop in our businesses and in our lives and in every aspect of what we do. Welcome to Leadership U, where it really is all about you.
I'm saying, hey guys, it's great. I appreciate you having me here. I'm trying to decide exactly for this audience. I was listening to Clay as we're going along, and I'm thinking, there are a couple of things that I could do here. There are a couple of ways we can go. Because why is everybody here? Okay? You're all here for the same reason, and that is to connect and learn ways that you can improve your speaking business, right? Isn't that really why you're all here? Generate revenue, connect with people, and all these kinds of things. And so ultimately that becomes a critical issue. So I'm going to take you back in time. It is now 1987. I'm sitting in my office, in my home. I'm looking out the window and just working away at my home office. The phone rings. I pick up the phone. It's the secretary-treasurer of the corporation that I'm the CEO of. He informs me that there was a board meeting held that I wasn't invited to or informed about. It's never a good sign. He informs me that the offer that I had brought to take the company public, which would have made us all instant millionaires, had been rejected by the board. And oh, by the way, you're no longer the CEO. Click. Imagine how I felt. Imagine that. And then I'm sitting there stunned, and I listen upstairs, and I hear the pitter-patter of my children. I got 8 kids. I'm gonna lose my house, because it's all on the line. Startup company. We took it from 0 to 6 million in today's dollars in 18 months. And I've lost it all, including everything I had on the line. I'm already on my second marriage. Am I going to lose that too? Imagine. So, 2 weeks later, fast forward, I'm in the same office looking out the same window, and I've been alternately up and down between plotting murder and pity party and all this stuff. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And it just hits me. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I can't do what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. Because this is not working, right? So what did I do? I made a decision. That decision was, I got to figure out what happened and do something about it. What's it going to be? So now you fast forward to today. Okay? I speak everywhere. I've spoken half the world. I've still got the other half on my bucket list. I'm a #1 international best-selling author with 2 best-selling books. And people like to listen to me. And they like me well enough that they wouldn't sneak around to do something like that. And what happened? What changed? What did I learn? That's really the question. Because for you, some of you may have had similar experiences. Some of you may not have. I don't know where you are. But where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? What's out there for you? That's the question, isn't it? Well, how are you going to figure that out? Here's what I discovered. What I discovered was that everything works like a 3-legged stool. My life works like a 3-legged stool. Now, I've milked cows. Anybody else milked cows before? Okay. So some of you know what I'm talking about. The rest of you have seen Green Acres or something where somebody was milking a cow, right? You got it? Okay. Okay. I'm dating myself by that one, unless you've watched TV Land. But we all know that, right? And I've actually milked cows with a 1-legged stool. which is two 2x4s sitting there like this, and you're trying to balance and not fall into the green stuff and keep the green stuff out of the bucket while the cow's moving and kicking at you. And been there, done that. Bought the T-shirt, right? You know what I'm talking about, okay? I've done with a two-legged stool. Now, a two-legged stool is a 2x4 with two 2x4s like this. Okay, a little more stable because it doesn't go sideways, but it's still not as stable as you'd like. Boy, you get that three-legged stool, that sucker's solid. It's just there, man. And you ain't going nowhere, right? So what I discovered was, here's the deal. This was a tech company. I've got an electrical engineering degree, and it was it was right up the alley. Okay? I've got an MBA, so I had the management stuff figured out, because here's the three legs. The first one is a technical leg. This is what you do. Now, when people introduce themselves, typically they tell what they do. AJ, you said, I do LinkedIn advertising. That is what you do. Ricky, you said, I teach people how to have fun. That's what you do, okay? Everybody knows their technical leg. I'm a housewife, I'm a bookkeeper, I'm a butcher. By the way, I was a butcher. My dad, I started helping him when I was 8, and I ran a meat market when I was 19. And I still have all 10 fingers, how about that? So does he after doing it for 40 years. So, but the point is, that is your technical leg. Now, the second leg is the management leg. Management's all about systems. You do not manage people, you manage things. And yet, everybody screws this one up. Virtually all of them. They try to manage people. You cannot manage people. Can't be done. Absolutely cannot be done successfully. Ever. You're kidding yourself. If you have the coercive power, that's what people try to do. And then they go off to a seminar and they say, oh, we're going to a leadership seminar. What they do is they come back with new vocabulary, do the same stupid thing they were doing before with new words. Right? Yeah. Been there, done that, bought the T-shirt, right? Do you want to do that in your business? How are you going to connect with people? Now, here's the deal. Third leg is the leadership leg. Nobody understands this one. Very few even know what it is. They think they're the same. They're not the same. They are entirely different. Technical skills, management skills are trainable. They're measurable. I can measure ROI. I can measure output per dollar or per man hour, right? I can measure all kinds of things. I can measure how many phone calls per hour. All those things are measurable, okay? Leadership isn't measurable. Leadership, you see the secondary effects. I said this earlier, it's like the wind. You look out the window, the trees are moving, what do you know?
Windy.
The wind's blowing,
There's
okay?
a monkey in the tree.
Yeah, could be. Could be. Not usually in Utah. Although around some of my grandkids, you could argue that maybe there is a monkey in the tree, another story. But the point is, yeah, the wind's blowing. If you step outside, you're going to get more evidence that the wind's blowing because you're going to be able to feel it and hear it. But do you really ever see the wind? Never. You see the effects of the wind. That's how leadership works. You don't see it, you can't measure it, and it doesn't work that way. Here's the problem. Organizations are typically run by bean counters and attorneys. Okay? And they want something they can measure. By the way, the two classic worst run types of businesses in the world are accounting firms and law firms, followed closely by doctors and dentists. Okay? Terrible business people. Don't know anything about it. And the worst part is accountants and lawyers think they know. And so they're typically not teachable. But that's another story. So here's your problem. You have to influence people. Leadership is felt. You feel a leader. You connect. You were talking about connecting earlier. You feel this. Okay? All right? Imagine how I felt with that phone call. Watching everything crumble. I went from this to millionaire to dead and broke. Fast. Okay? Imagine how that feels. It's not fun. So anyway, what do? You have to develop that leadership because everything keys in on that one. That's where the leverage lives. Good to Great. Jim Collins writes this book, 1999, talks about all these wonderful companies. Today, 85% of them are gone or tanked. Okay? What happened? Well, here's the problem. If all you've got is a technical leg, you can only grow your business this big. And this is where a lot of us are. We're a one-man band, if you will, or one-woman band. And here's where we are, you know? This is as big as you can grow. There's 168 hours in a week, and you got to sleep some of them, baby, and you are just done. There it is. That's as big as you can go. Now, if I can add some systems and maybe hire one of her people for 5 or 10 hours, now I've started to grow a management leg. Okay? But here I sit right now with just a technical leg. I can only get this big, and you wonder why your business is on its backside on the ground, and whatever, why you're on your backside on the ground. And this applies to your personal life. Why do you think I lost the marriage? Well, my part of it, now there's always two, but my part of it was simply that I wasn't much of a leader. I wasn't much of a people person. Look, I was an engineer. That's why I was trained as an engineer. Okay, now you do know the difference between an introverted engineer and an extroverted engineer? The extroverted engineer stares at your shoes instead of his. Right? Okay, I mean, give me a break, you know. And all of a sudden, I started developing a personality. I didn't fit in with the other engineers anymore, so I quit. And I went off and did some other things, and that's why I'm here now, okay? But you look at that process, and it is a process. Leadership is a lifestyle. Developing leadership is a lifestyle. Why? Because it's experiential. Why? Because you feel it. That's why. And so here's my message to you. You've got to develop you so that you become attractive to those people that you can reach best. There are people that you can touch much better than I can. There are people that I can touch much better than you can, and so on. And part of the process is understanding that. You know, classic mistake that all startups say. I have a $40 trillion market, right? You know, for my widget or my service or whatever it is. No, you don't, because you can't connect with them. You don't have a $40 trillion market. Okay? That's bean counters talking to you. So here's the problem. Good, great. They go right here. Now, you add systems. Now you can grow to here. That's good. Okay? Right? But when you add that leadership leg, there's no cap. So, good to great companies, what happened? The leader died, retired, the company got bought out, something happened. They lost their leader. And they didn't replace the leader. They replaced him with bean counters and lawyers, sadly. And what happened was they went back down to their natural level, capped with just 2 legs. So, is your business here? Is it here? Or is it where you really want it to be? Because that's where you want it to be. There's no limits. And the same as it's true with your life, your marriage, everything. Why? Because it's all about people. And you cannot manage people. You must lead them. Thank you.
Subscribe here to Leadership U to make sure you get all the videos. Also, you can watch more videos from here, including 2 that I've shown, my speaker reel, and also one I call Leadership Elephants in You. Also from here, you can go ahead and then get to my website to find out more about my speaking, books, and other things. Have a great day. See you on the flip side.